My name is Jim Turner, and I run a millwork shop here in Honeoye Falls, New York, just outside of Rochester. And this is the latest design I've come up with for a wooden, traditional looking storm window that also has some features that make it easier to use. First of all, there's no putty involved in this at all. The exterior bevel that you see is part of the outside frame. Inside, there's another wooden stop piece attached to hold the glass in place. Both sides are bedded in a high quality elastomeric caulk so that there's never any reason to have to do anything out here except keep it painted. The bottom panel is removable. It has a very similar profile on the outside with the exception of the bottom lip, which is slightly beveled to let the rainwater run off. Inside, it has two turn button keys that allow you to remove the panel, which is weather stripped with a fiber weather strip on three sides, and then you can replace it with a screen panel very easily from inside the house to change it from warm weather to cold weather and back. The screen here is a high quality stainless steel screen painted black that is much easier to see through, and it's called a sea view screen. And when you compare it to some other screens over here, this is the sea view screen. This is a typical fiberglass screen, aluminum screen, and a bronze screen. And all these can be put into this frame. I prefer the sea view because, as you can tell, it's a lot more transparent than the other screens are. And it also does not have some of the problems with fiberglass, which can tear easily. So the aluminum screen can get oxidation on it, which is not great. The bronze screen also is very heavy and will change color after a while, but it is very long lasting. It's very traditional for older homes. This is a very traditional looking storm window, and from the street, it's probably very difficult to tell the difference. It's made out of eastern white pine, which is a fairly rot resistant material. And if it's kept painted, it'll last many, many years. If anything happens to the inserts, they're easily repairable. Any hardware store that does aluminum screens can do that. The actual joints this is made up of are a very traditional mortise and tenon joint. Goes together like that. So this gets inserted into there, and then a wooden pin gets driven into that hole, holds the whole thing tight. So there's no glue to fail, no metal fasteners to rust. It's all held together with wood parts. And it looks like that at the end. So one thing I wanted to cover is change these inserts when you're in the house on the second floor. You can do this part, but then to get it out of there, it's very simple. Just take a paint can opener. You can hook it in there, lift it out, and pull it right out. Which also makes these inserts very easy to store in your house because they're very thin, only about a ½ inch thick, and they can be stacked up in a closet or wherever else you want to put them in between seasons. It can come in any color that you'd like. White is, of course, the standard. And the inserts can be colored to match. It does a little bit of an upcharge for a custom color on the inserts. We do make them in any size that you need. They're all custom made. The upper panel can be changeable as well. If you'd like to open the upper sash in your windows and have screens in both halves, you can do that. That's how it operates. This can be it replaces any existing storm window. It's the same thickness as your conventional storm windows, 1 1/8 inches. This is installed in the opening the exactly same way as the one that you have now. If you don't have them, they can be used with these little turn buttons that go on the frame of the window and then rotate 90 degrees to let you to take it off for painting and things like that and maintenance in the future. It just needs to be installed. Usually there's 4 of these, 2 on each side, and they just put in with a small screw that holds it in place. So when it's in, they frame of the window, it looks like that. Another option to install these is to use these storm window hangers. If this is the frame of the window, one part goes on there, this part goes on the window itself and is screwed in place. And then at the bottom can either be more of these butterflies, or you could have a hook and eye on the inside of the window that allows you to attach the whole thing from inside the house. This design has been a couple of years in the making to come up with the right proportions of materials and the shape of the cuts that have to be made here and the inserts to match storm and screen. I get really tired of going to people's houses, seeing their storm windows with all the putty falling out, the glass is barely holding in there, and they need a lot of work, and then they start to rot because they don't get painted, and it just seemed like there's got to be a better idea. So this is what I came up with.